German. It is indeed curious that a nation which was never thoroughly converted to Christianity should be so deeply steeped in Catholicism. Now, by some estimations, it wasn't till the 1800s that the majority of the Germans were Christian. Now in my country, the majority of people aren't Christian. When I was a kid, or at least part of my childhood, most people weren't Christian in Russia, and now they are. Parts of Ireland and Scotland weren't majority Christian until the 1800s, or some would say the whole country, even though being ruled by Catholics and Protestants. But the German genius for poetry and sadism seems to have found its perfect outlet in the cults of Satan. Bridges and cathedrals built by the devil, if legend can be believed, abound in the Reich. The works of such devilorists as Wilhelm Hoff and E.T.H.A. Devil Hoffman, some languages, the TH is one letter, have been enormously popular. And of course, Faust legend, from Goethe to Spengler's Faustian Man, is the very pivot of German literature, meriting special attention elsewhere in this volume. And most of my life, I really didn't know what the whole Faust thing was about because I never read it. It was never part of my general theological studies. It was never something important via my church upbringing. So, I wasn't somebody to go after some cultural themes just because they're popular cultural themes. Curious parallels between the orgiastic excesses of the Nazis and ancient Germanic celebrations have been drawn by a number of his historians. And thoughtful correspondence, they range from violations of the rules of war to gross homosexuality. And while that was one of the issues that people brought up about the brown shirts, that they needed to address that and have more family values or something, right? But Nazism is what the Jews of the 1800s called the ruling families, which were almost entirely Jewish. So calling them Nazis wasn't because they were not National Socialists. It was because it was an insult. I don't really find reference to them calling themselves Nazis. Nacio Social. I forget how to say it. But Nazi is different from the Nazi. So it was a derisive way of talking about the ruling people, because the Jews knew that the Rothschilds and the rest of them, the Epsteins and all that, they didn't really work for the Jews. They didn't care about Jewish ethnicity or religion. It was incidental. Anyways, those who believe that the Inquisition reached its full flowering in Spain under Torquemada should read the records of torture on the rack, the wheel, and the Iron Virgin in Nuremberg, Augsburg, and elsewhere in gentle Germany. Camp commanders at Dachau and Oranienburg were amateurs compared to the Christian fathers who, with whips, spikes, burning sulfur, burning brandy, weights, vises, and other instruments of hell, tortured a pregnant woman in the year of 1631, as related in Königs Ausgeburten der Menschwans. Actually, no fictional presentation of the devil is necessary in a nation which has produced Frederick, Wilhelm II, Hitler, and Himmler. Those who would know more about the German devil might ask the Poles, Czechs, Norwegians, French, Dutch, Belgians, and Jews. And remember, at this time, rather than thinking that 6 million people were killed in this group and some other group, certainly Stalin and Lenin did more. Certainly, even with that, them and Winston Churchill were responsible for more deaths of innocent people. But at this time, people tended not to think the number so high. A tenth that, a hundredth that, which was horrible. But still, By contrast, the Reformation once promised a Christianized and moral Germany. Martin Luther was one German who hated the devil and all his works. I don't know about all his works, and Luther's table talk, as proved by the following excerpts, should rival any holy relic as a specific for exorcising the pan-Germanic devil. And of course, can we blame the whole culture? No, we can't. But there are specifics when it comes to one culture versus another and how they're going to talk about the devil. And so if pain is there, pleasure is there, and these are main motivators. So they were rather Epicurean, you could say. But Epicurean is the overall cost of things.